Every quarter, Uganda Law Society releases a report on the observance of rule of law by different institutions in the country. The report also showcases recommendations to institutions on how to implement the rule of law. The second quarter report from April to June 2023 on the rule of law was launched in Kampala. Of recent, Constitutional Court made a ruling in regard to freedom of expression and assembly. However, acts of violation to freedom of assembly have allegedly been on increase in the last 3 months.
And we want to clarify that as Uganda Law Society, and the courts have also been clear, freedom of assembly, freedom of speech are constitutional rights that are protected by our constitution. It's important that the police respects that. We also want to clarify that the power of the police is to regulate and not to prohibit. What has been coming out from what we have been seeing is that the police has been prohibiting the exercise of the right to freedom of assembly.
The report also highlights the issue of overcrowdedness in prisons, with a population of 74,444 prisoners, out of 20,036 prisoners meant to be in prisons across the country, hence a financial burden on government.
Of these, 95.5% are male, and the state clearly needs about 150 million to put food on their plates. This means that over 54,000 prisoners are over the approved capacity. The government should develop a comprehensive national strategy that is evidence-based to respond to local circumstances and needs, and foresee an alternative response to crime, with imprisonment being seen as a measure of last resort in line with international standards.
In the 2021 IGG's report on corruption, Uganda loses 20 trillion annually to corruption. Although efforts to address this predicament has been put in place,
we continue to appeal to them to also look at the high-profile cases, the number of cases that have been listed by the Auditor General, for instance. If you look at the Auditor General's report, there are so many cases that have been listed. Can we also start looking at the Auditor General's report and being able to implement it? Can we start to see, to ensure that these investigations, as they are being carried out, eventually the trial, whether it's under the police officers' standards and regulations or whatever, the public should also be able to be able to see that these people have been charged for essentially doing what is illegal. So that
the launch report also condemned the ADF attack on Rubiriha Secondary School and the increasing gun violence in the country. The issue of appointing judicial officers on probation by the Judicial Service Commission was also highlighted in the latest report.
If you appoint judges in an acting capacity, you're checking their independence of the judiciary. You're checking their independence as a judge, but also independence of the institution. So it is important that these judges are appointed on a permanent basis so that they can have the confidence to make the decisions. From the way things look, it means that if I am appointed on acting basis, I'm going to be subjected to some sort of appraisal performance where I will be confirmed or not confirmed. And then how am I going to be able to make these judgments if I am not sure about my security of tenure?
With the need to uphold the rule of law in the country, Uganda Law Society recommends collective efforts from all the stakeholders. Deborah Namamonde, Susan Nabugode, UBC News.